Hello children. Now we will start the chapter 13 of your book, that is electricity and circuits. For the sake of introduction, bache, we will start what is energy. You know what, bache, in this chapter we will talk about one form of energy, that is electrical energy. So first we will discuss what is energy. The ability to do work is known as energy. In Hindi it is referred as कार्य करने की क्षमता को energy कहते हैं आज. The ability to do work is known as energy. Energy has various forms. Energy is available to us in various forms, like chemical energy. The food which we are eating is a form of a chemical energy. The nutrients are chemicals which provide us energy. Next, sound energy, the form of energy which enables us to hear in this, what the sounds are producing in the surroundings. The third is light energy, the form of energy which helps us to see the things around us. Likewise, there are various forms of energy like muscular energy. To push, pull, pick, we require our muscles, and that is what the muscular energy is all about. Likewise, there is one form of energy which we are going to discuss in this chapter, that is electrical energy. Electrical energy is basically a form of energy. Without electricity, it would be very difficult to us in today's life. For example, bache, the electric bulbs are lightened up by electrical energy. And if we switch on the bulb, we cannot be able to see the things around us. So this is what the electrical energy does. When Thomson Alva Edison found the electric bulb, it was a revolution in the history of science, in the field of science. And that brings up the lightning everywhere whenever there is no sun available. So, bache, electrical energy is a form of energy by which various electrical appliances work, like the basic use appliances of our life, refrigerators, electric fans, electric lamps, electric bulbs. Mobile phones are charged due to electrical energy. Various computers, refrigerators, they run by the help of electricity. Air conditioners, electric geysers, electric ovens, they all work on a form of energy that is known as electrical energy or electricity. If bache, there is no energy for more than a limited time period, it would be very difficult for us, because electricity is now becoming the basic part of our life now. Somehow, or in a somewhat manner, we are depending on the electricity. So in this chapter, bache, we'll discuss about this form of energy, that is electricity. Bache, electricity we get in the two manners. The first one is a very simple manner, that is a dry cell or electric cell. So if someone asks us what is an electric cell is a device which stores energy and provide it in the form of electrical energy whenever it is connected in a circuit. What is a circuit? We'll discuss in the later half of this chapter. So, what is a dry cell or what is an electric cell is? You must have seen the electric cells, various electric cells like this. Various brand names are written over this, like XYZ. The bluish, blackish, orangish colored dry cells are available to us. What actually it is, if we remove the upper covering, there is a silver grayish color container is there. अगर हम उसके ऊपर की बच्चे जो branding की covering ऐसे remove करें, तो silver grayish covering is there, that is zinc container, which remain covered from all around the corners, but this portion is uncovered. Every cell, every electrical device must require two terminals. हर electrical device के दो terminal होते हैं बच्चे. One is positive terminal and the other one is negative terminal. This zinc container which is left open, uncovered, that is the negative terminal. and for the positive terminal, a brass cap is there. This brass cap, which is present at the top of a dry cell, is positive terminal. So there are two terminals required for the passage of electricity. One is positive and another one is negative terminal. So these two terminals completes a circuit, and henceforth electricity or electric current flows through it. This positive terminal has a rod. देखिए बच्चे यहाँ पर ये जो है ब्रास एक रॉड से कनेक्टेड है. That is a carbon rod. It is also referred as graphite rod. Graphite is composed of carbon. Then there is a container in it. There is a box in it, separate box. It has a powder that is contain manganese dioxide and powdered form of carbon. Carbon is an element, bache, that you will study in your higher classes. It is an element. So these are sort of chemicals. So dry cell, what it does is it converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Dry cell करता क्या है बच्चे? केमिकल एनर्जी को इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी में कन्वर्ट कर देता है. तो इसमें जो एनर्जी है बच्चे वो किस फॉर्म में है? केमिकल की फॉर्म में. These are the one chemicals which makes up the positive terminal. ये पॉजिटिव टर्मिनल बना रहे हैं कौन? कार्बन की रोड, मैग्नीज डाइऑक्साइड एंड पाउडर्ड फॉर्म. नेक्स्ट, दिस इज द होल कंटेनर बच्चा. ये पूरा कंटेनर है, खाली जगह है यहाँ पर. It is filled with another chemical, that is ammonium chloride. It is its symbol beta. That symbols also you will study in your higher classes. N will be capital, H will be capital, 4 will come as a epithet, like this. इसके पैर में आएगा बच्चे. Then C is capital and L. Along with C it's small. ये नाइट्रोजन का सिंबल है, ये हाइड्रोजन का सिंबल है और ये क्लोरीन का सिंबल है. These are the symbols of various elements. These elements combine together and form a compound, form a chemical named as ammonium chloride, NH4Cl. So this ammonium chloride fills this container, zinc container. And this is what a dry cell is. It converts the chemical energy which is present in it, which is possessed by it, into electrical energy. Whensoever these dry cells are arranged in a manner, arranged in a fixed manner in a battery, and we switch on the battery, that battery lights up the bulb. What actually happens in that? This chemical energy which is present in it gets converted into electrical energy. And by that electrical energy, by the flow of that electrical energy, the bulb glows. That bulb, when glows, gives us the light energy. So this is what a dry cell is all about. I am explaining you it again, bache. A dry cell is composed of a zinc container. This is a zinc container. It's a silver grey color. It is, covered by a cardboard or by a metallic cardboard for the branding purpose. Various companies, pencil cells or dry cells are available in the market, like Panasonic, Nippo, Duracell. These are just the branding. From inside, they are all one and the same. So that is the zinc container. Inside the zinc container, ammonium chloride is filled. That makes up the negative terminal. Negative end बनाएंगे बच्चे. Next, in the center it has a rod, a black color rod that is made up of graphite. It is referred as carbon rod, as graphite is made up of an element named as carbon. Around that there is a small container in which a small powdered form of carbon along with manganese dioxide is present. Manganese dioxide, it is also a chemical. MnO2, its formula is MnO2. That will makes up the positive terminal. So at the tip, to separate this negative and positive, we have a brass cap. We have a metallic cap, and that metallic is usually in the form of an alloy, and that alloy is a brass. Brass is not an element, it is an alloy. So brass makes up the positive terminal, and that's how a dry cell structure is explained. This is what a dry cell is, a very, very important structure for your question paper. Draw this diagram multiple times, bache, to learn these, typical chemical names for your class. So that is the dry cell which converts it converts chemical energy into electrical energy. So that is dry cell or electrics. Next we will discuss the uses of electric cells. The electric cells, the dry cells, are used in various toys, transistors, various remote controls, various the devices like calculators, wristwatches. They all contain a source of electricity which is very useful, very portable, and that is dry cell. The video games which is used to play in our hands, which are the remote video games, they also contain the dry cells. Even now, the Bluetooth devices like Bluetooth, mouse of a computer, Bluetooth keyboards, they also have a dry cell in it. So that is the use. In fact, dry cell has an extensive use nowadays. Next, dry cell also have certain advantages over the main supply. The main supply is provided by this socket switch. These dry cells have certain advantages as compared to this main socket supply. What are these? We'll discuss them one by one. The first one is dry cells are portable. Port means to place. Able means which can be able, which can easily carried. The dry cells are very lightweight. Due to their lightweight, we can easily carry them along with ourselves. बच्चे बहुत जो ड्राई सेल होता है बहुत हल्का और बहुत छोटा होता है, तो इसलिए हम उसको आसानी से अपने साथ कैरी कर सकते हैं. And whenever we carry a thing that is referred as portable. For example, the desktop computers are non-portable, but they will remain confined to one place at our home, in one room. Whereas the laptops, they are the portable computers. We can easily carry them with ourselves. So, likewise, the dry cells are portable. That is, they are very lightweight, they are very small in size, so they can be easily carried, or we can say they are portable. The second is, they are safe. If we touch that socket and on the switch, we get an electric shock, we get a severe electric shock. Why? Because the intensity of electricity in this socket is quite high. Intensity बहुत ज़्यादा है बच्चे, because it produces a large amount of electric current. Whereas the electric cells or dry cells, they provide a very less amount of electric current, very less intense electric current. So they are perfectly safe for use without getting any electric shock. Actually, while handling these devices, we must have to be remain very protective, very precautious. We should not touch these with our wet hands. We must have to wear the rubber chappals or slippers in our feet during touching these. So these are certain precautions which we have to take care of while dealing with these electrical switches, sockets and devices. But whereas dry cells are very safe. Why? Because they produce a very less amount of electric current. So they are perfectly safe and a person will not receive any electric shock from them. So the second is, they are safe to use. Dry cells produce a very small amount of electricity or electric current, you can write. So they are perfectly safe and can be handled without getting any electric shock. Next, economical. Dry cells are not very costly, they are economical. Everybody can purchase them and use them. They are not very costly thing that only rich people can afford it. They are very economical, but everybody can buy it and use it. We are using it in fact. Next, they are named as dry cell. Why? Because they do not have any liquid chemical in it, which is spilled when we take it in our bag, when we take it in our pocket. It is not spilled because it has dry chemicals in it. It does not contain any liquid chemical which can be spilled. जो खिंड जाएगा बच्चे, जो गिर जाएगा इधर उधर और हमारी चीजों को खराब कर देगा, ऐसा नहीं है. They are dry cells. They contain the dry chemicals which do not spill and henceforth do not cause any ruckus, do not cause any kind of a bad impression. Like they do not spoil the cloths, they do not spoil the bag in which they are placed, they do not spoil the polythene or the carry bag in which we are taking it, as they do not have any liquid chemical. Next and the last is steady electric current. You may write here the constant electric current, fixed electric current. Until or unless their chemical is, remain intact with it, they keep on providing us the steady electric current, fixed electric current. Neither that is increased nor it is decreased up to a fixed limit. A dry cell will be finished in a year, in a clock, in a few days in a toy. That depends on its use and its, circuit. इलेक्ट्रिक क्लॉक जो वॉल क्लॉक्स हैं, उनके सेल्स जो होते हैं बच्चे, वो 6 महीने तक नहीं बदलते हैं, 1 ईयर तक भी कभी कभी चल जाता है कोई सर, बिकॉज इट रिक्वायर वेरी लेस करंट एंड ड्राई सेल कीप ऑन प्रोवाइडिंग दैट कांस्टेंट करंट. तभी तो जो घड़ी है वो बराबर टाइम पर घूमती है. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता बच्चे कि 24 घंटे एक बार पहले होगा एक बार बाद में, isn't it? So बच्चे, that they provide steady electric current, fixed constant electric current, which neither increase nor decrease. So these are the advantages of a dry cell. They are portable, they are safe to use, they are very economical, they do not spill here and there and cause any ruckus here and there in the places बच्चे. Next is they provide a steady, they provide a constant, a fixed electric current. Next बच्चे, one structure, one composition is known as a dry cell. But you must have observed in your remotes of the televisions or your dish TV or your DTH connections, those remotes have either 2 or 3 cells in it. That combination of cell, that connection of cell with one another will form a battery. So what is a battery? 2 or more than 2 cells connecting together is known as battery. 2 or more than 2 cells connected end to end to form a battery. What do you mean by end to end? Let us suppose I have 2 dry cells. One is this, another one is this. If I connect these 2 ends, positive with positive, then this battery won't work. The battery काम नहीं करेगी बच्चे. Next, if I connect 2 negative terminals towards each other, then also that battery won't work. They must be connected end to end. That is like this. Positive must be connected to positive and negative. So positive must be connected to negative and this positive must be connected to this negative. This circuit will work. And that's why sometimes when we place the cells, when we inappropriate place the cells in a remote, it does not work. So that is a battery, which is commonly used. Usually we place 2 or more than 2 cells in a thing, like आजकल gas geysers are rahe hain, they have also 2 cells. The remotes have 2 cells. So but basically a battery will work in that, which is made by the connection of 2 or more than 2 cells end to end. Now we will discuss about the cell which I explained you in my video. This is a cell which is commonly available to us. This is the branding over it. This is a brass cap. This terminal, if we look closer to it, this is a brass cap, this one. Okay, this brass cap is the positive terminal. Here it is written as well. Look at this. This sign shows us the positive terminal, and the below it has here it is negative terminal. From here this zinc container is not covered. So that is a cell. That is a pencil cell. This is the normal dry cell. This is the brass cap positive terminal which is covered from all over. This is a zinc container in which the chemicals are placed. From here you can remove this branding and you will see a grey color container which is a zinc, made up of zinc. So this is dry cell. This contains various chemicals. This is another form of cell. This one, which is very tiny. It is from my wristwatch. It is the button cell. It is present in the form of button, so it is referred as button cell. It has also one positive terminal and other one negative. This is the negative terminal, this portion, and if I turn it over, this is the positive terminal. So it also have the, although it is very tiny, it has two terminals, positive, the upper side, and the lower side. If I reverse it down, it is the negative terminal. So every cell has two terminals, one is positive and other one is negative. Now I will show you, bache, these cells are connected in the to form a battery. It is a remote, bache. When I press a button, you will observe that a light will be on, bache. That means it is sending the signals to the remote and it works. Various button when pressed, the right light gets on, bache. When light gets on, that means the connection is proper. In here, bache, we'll place two cells, the two dry cells, like this. Look at this. The first cell I am taking it out. This is the positive terminal and this is negative, and the behind it the second cell is there, like this. So it was connected like this, bache. The positive is connected to the negative, and this will forms a battery, बच्चे. और उन्होंने क्या बना दिया मिलकर, एक बैटरी, और इस बैटरी पर ये काम करता है. अगर बच्चे अब हम देखेंगे, अगर मैं अब बटन प्रेस कर रहा हूं तो कोई लाइट ऑन नहीं हो रही है, बच्चे ऊपर देखें यहाँ पर, there is no light signal is there. Why? It does not have any battery. And when I place these battery in it again in a fixed manner, like this, then it will gives us the signal. Look at this. Now I am pressing a button, it is giving us the signal, bache. So that is all about the combination of cells, that is battery. One more thing, bache, if I place them in appropriate manner, then also it does not gives the electric current, like this. If I अगर मैं इनको उल्टा डाल दूं इस तरह से और नेगेटिव से नेगेटिव कनेक्ट कर दूं, और देखिए बच्चे यहाँ पर नेगेटिव से नेगेटिव कनेक्टेड है यहाँ पे, तब भी कोई सिग्नल नहीं आएगा. देखिए अब मैं बटन प्रेस कर रहा हूँ पर कोई सिग्नल नहीं आ रहा है, लाइट ऑन नहीं हो रही है बच्चे, एलईडी ऑन नहीं हो रहा है. लेकिन अगर मैं इसे रिवर्स करके दोबारा सही करके डालूंगा, दैट इज एंड टू एंड कनेक्ट करूंगा बच्चे, पॉजिटिव विद नेगेटिव, maybe it is not so this will work, bache. So look at this keep on working, bache. Okay, so that's how we connect the cells, bache. We connect the cells in a battery to get a signal, bache. So that's how the cells joined end to end will form a battery.